The film starts with a girl named Gwen Taylor, who arrives at a motel at midnight. She didn't come to spend the night, but for a job. The motel was in a desolate area. The owner, Teddy Miles, needed someone to work the night shift, which is the premise of the film Night Shift. When Gwen reaches the motel, she finds a reception, and there weren't many people staying there. Teddy was the only one present. The place had a strange and eerie atmosphere, and Gwen was an innocent girl. While searching for Teddy, they scare each other upon finding one another. Gwen had arrived earlier than expected, which is why Teddy had to meet her so quickly. Despite the unexpected timing, Gwen quickly realized Teddy was peculiar, not bad, but definitely strange. He asks Gwen questions about her family, to which she replies that she is alone and has experience in this type of work, assuring him she will do well. They had spoken on the phone earlier, so Teddy was ready to give her the job. He shows her around the motel. While showing her the supply room, Teddy tells Gwen the lock on the door is broken. Whenever she enters, she needs to prop the door open with a brick. Otherwise, if it closes, it can only be opened from the outside, meaning she would be stuck until morning. Gwen takes note of this. In the backyard of the motel, there were many old cars, raising suspicions that something bad might have happened there. The motel also had a pool, but it was in poor condition. Teddy mentioned that last year, a pit formed on the side of the pool. Though they tried to fill it, they couldn't. It seemed like the story might move towards supernatural elements, with the mysterious pit potentially hinting at some evil power. Perhaps the souls of people who had stayed there were trapped, or some demon was involved. This would be revealed later. Everything pointed to the fact that this place might not be suitable for a decent girl like Gwen, but she had no other choice. Teddy gives Gwen a pamphlet about a nearby restaurant where she can order food. She gets hungry, and then asks if she should have a weapon for protection. Teddy laughs at the idea, wondering who would threaten her. Gwen insists, saying she is a woman alone in a deserted place, and needs something for protection. Teddy reassures her that nothing bad has happened so far, but she can call the police if needed. Gwen points out that it would take the police 30 minutes to arrive. Teddy jokingly suggests there's an axe in the back, saying all she has to do is use it to kill her enemies. He assures her that while the place looks scary, nothing bad will happen. He says, "I don't have any enemies, but if you find something strange, just call me." After this, Teddy leaves for some work, giving Gwen the necessary information before departing. Soon, Gwen realizes the building is full of big rats. At this time, only one room in the motel is occupied. Gwen goes to room 6 and knocks on the door to let the occupant know she is available if they need anything. A strange girl named Alice, who doesn't say much, occupies room 6. Gwen notices Alice's fingers, which seemed either bloody or red. Gwen doesn't bother her much and goes to clean one of the rooms. While cleaning, she sees a car outside. It's unclear who is in the car, but it's obvious they are watching her. Nervous, Gwen quickly returns to the reception area. She tries to ignore it and orders food for herself. After a while, she receives a call from room 13, which was supposed to be empty. When Gwen answers, she hears a woman laughing on the other end, which scares her. She calls for a knife as a precaution. The film story keeps us guessing. Is it a horror movie with supernatural events, or a slasher where the person in the car is a serial killer? That night, Gwen goes to room 13, feeling scared. Though the room is empty, she senses a heavy presence and sees a shadow behind her. Just as she is about to check the phone, she receives a call from the front desk. She then sees the ghost of a woman behind her, which terrifies her, and she immediately leaves the room. Alice sees Gwen and asks if she's okay, but Gwen can't explain what she has seen. It becomes clear that Alice is a girl who had run away from home. The red on her fingers was hair dye, not blood, and her hair dryer had broken. Alice wanted to tell Gwen about this. Gwen takes Alice to the supply room to give her a new dryer, but forgets to prop the door open with a brick. Suddenly, the door locks, trapping both girls inside. Alice gets very angry because her cell phone is in her room, and Teddy won't return until morning, meaning they would be stuck there all night. Suddenly, the light goes out, causing Alice to scream, as she is afraid of the dark. Their fear increases when they see many rats around. They remember seeing someone outside. It was the food delivery man. Gwen had ordered from the delivery man, and he arrived just in time, opening the door and allowing both girls to escape. They then had dinner together, and Alice told Gwen about herself, including a fight with her mother and running away from home. During this, Gwen advised Alice that she should consider going back. Despite her mother's anger, Gwen reassured Alice that no matter how upset her mother might be, she would be worried about Alice and likely searching for her. It might not change Alice's mind, but it was worth considering. When Gwen went out to get a drink, she saw the car again. Her initial suspicion was confirmed. Now she was sure someone was watching her. Her previous experiences made her fears more valid. When she returned to the room, She was so startled that she even dropped the button she was holding. Alice offered to help, but Gwen, upset, snapped at her. Understanding Gwen's distress, Alice remained quiet and returned to her room. Later, a wealthy man and his girlfriend arrived, wanting to rent a room for just 1 hour. They were rude and insulted Gwen when she insisted they pay for the whole night, which angered the man. After throwing money in Gwen's face, he took the room. It was clear they weren't there to sleep, and Gwen went to check on them to confirm her suspicions. Inside the room, the couple was busy with their desires, but the woman thought she heard something outside. Since Gwen had been awake since midnight, she decided to investigate, but didn't find anything. However, she noticed a gun hidden behind their car, but didn't see anything else. As she approached the pool, she felt something moving in it. The railing was weak, and she fell into the pool. A strange woman, or possibly a statue, emerged from the water and began moving toward Gwen. Terrified, Gwen screamed in fear. Alice heard Gwen's screams and immediately came to help her. Once out of the pool, Gwen didn't want to seem crazy, so she didn't tell Alice the truth about what she had seen in the pool. However, once they were back in the room, Alice asked, "Did you see something? Tell me what it was. Do you know?" Upon learning that the place might be haunted, Gwen was surprised, as she hadn't known about it before. Alice explained that she had heard stories about the motel, which was why she had come. Gwen felt upset that Teddy had hidden this from her. Now they were about to find out if the place was truly haunted. Meanwhile, the wealthy couple left, and Gwen confided in Alice, saying, "Since I arrived here, I feel like someone is following me. I saw a car pass by twice, and I suspect it's following me." Alice asked why she thought that. When Gwen shared her story, she explained, "When I was young, a man named Walton Gray broke into our house. He killed my mother and sisters, and tried to kill me too, but I was lucky to survive. He was declared insane and committed to a mental institution. But 2 days ago, he escaped. I think he's after me now. He wants to finish what he started." Gwen then showed Alice a necklace, saying, "It was my mother's. The night she was murdered, this necklace went missing. I was sure Walton took it. 2 days ago, I found it in my mailbox. I think he had it and left it for me as a message. Now he's going to complete his unfinished work." Gwen started crying, explaining that she had seen the car twice. Alice, deeply concerned, advised Gwen to report it to the police immediately. Gwen explained that she hadn't slept in 2 nights, and the place felt strange, which made her unsure if it was just her imagination. This was why she hadn't called the police yet. As Gwen was leaving, she told Alice to keep her door locked. Alice replied, "I've thought about what you said and have decided to go home and apologize to my mother." After hearing Alice's story, Gwen realized the importance of family and appreciated Alice's words. However, when Gwen arrived at the front desk, she started feeling unwell again. She kept seeing what looked like a ghost on the CCTV cameras. When she went outside to check, there was no one there, but since arriving at the motel, she had been constantly frightened by something. Gwen called Teddy, sounding very upset. She said, "You wretched person, why didn't you tell me the truth? This place is a disaster. Ever since I got here, I've been seeing strange things. I'm not staying here any longer." Teddy tried to calm her down and insisted that his motel was not cursed. He said, "What are you talking about? If something like this had happened, I would have known. I've been running this place for years." But Gwen didn't believe him. Teddy said he would come over soon, and she ended the call. Then, a strange man arrived, staring at Gwen with odd behavior. When Gwen asked for a room, she was ready to give him one but felt suspicious, thinking he might be the murderer, Walton Gray. His mannerisms seemed to match her suspicions. Using her intelligence, Gwen asked him to follow her to the room. Once they were in a secluded spot, she attacked him from behind and brutally assaulted him. Before dying, the man revealed. A shocking secret was revealed. Gwen had claimed that her family was murdered by a maniac named Walton. However, the truth was that Gwen had actually killed her own family. She was mentally unstable, and the man she had just killed was her doctor. Gwen had been undergoing treatment for the past 15 years and had escaped from the hospital 2 days ago. Not only was Gwen unwilling to accept that she had committed these murders, but she also continued to believe in the story she had created. 2 nurses had accompanied the doctor, and Gwen killed them as well. Alice was in her room when she heard noises. When she went outside, she found the doctor's dead body with his tongue cut out and the nurses dying. Gwen was not in her right mind. Her true nature had emerged. The story took an unpredictable turn, as the seemingly innocent Gwen turned out to be the real murderer. The ghosts Gwen had seen were actually the remnants of her own actions. The place was not haunted. It could have been her mother and sisters, whom she had killed. In a final act of violence, Gwen's madness led her to kill Alice as well. When Teddy arrived, Gwen did not spare him either. The film presented a significant twist, but the subsequent events felt less meaningful. A few weeks later, the story shows Gwen as a new owner of the motel, which she had renovated extensively. August arrives to book a room, and a blood mark is seen on the wall, suggesting that whenever someone stays there, Gwen's dangerous side might emerge and kill them. Despite all the murders, a doctor and 2 nurses killed, and Gwen being known in the area, there was no police investigation, which seemed implausible. Overall, the film was not bad. It featured a character like Gwen, who initially evokes sympathy, but later reveals a darker side. This is where the night shift ends. We hope you enjoyed the story. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.